Have you ever heard the Bible verse, faith without works is dead? And have you ever thought to yourself, what does that actually mean? If we dive into the books of Acts 12, it tells a story of Simon Peter and James. They were imprisoned in order to cripple the church. This was after the death of Christ, and they were the leaders at the time. So James was unfortunately killed by a sword, but Peter wasn't killed because it was during the feast of the unleavened bread. Now, there were no less than 16 guards watching him as he was under arrest. While all this was happening, the church was praying fervently for Simon Peter. Their prayers were answered. The night before his trial and execution, an angel descended. Peter was changed to soldiers on his left and on his right. Now, when the angel ascended, he was awoken. The chains were broken and he was led out past the unconscious gates. Even the still gates just opened. Now, he was led like a block away until he could see the angel no more. Now, his first step was to inform the church of his deliverance, to let them know that he was okay. He went to the house of John Mark, the one who wrote the Gospel of Mark. He knocked. A young girl, a servant named Rhoda. She saw Peter and she was so delighted. With excitement, she rushed back to tell everybody else that Peter's outside. But nobody believed her. The adults were just convinced. They said to her that it was his angel. They said that she was out of her mind, but he kept knocking. And then eventually they came to the door and they saw that it was him. There is a lesson to be learned from this story. The reason why the church didn't believe that Simon Peter had been released or was at the door was because they didn't believe God. Their prayers had absolutely no backing of faith, because if it had, they would have believed Rhoda that he was at the door. And their lack of faith, it just broke down all the other virtues. They were very belittling to Rhoda, borderline insulting. In the New International Version, Acts 12:15, it says, "You are out of your mind," they told her, when she kept insisting that it was so. They said it must be his angel. In the King James Version, it says, "Thou art mad." This is not the way that a responsible church leaders, this is not the way responsible church members would speak to somebody else. But even with their lack of faith, God still answered their prayers. And that alone is a testimony of God's infinite mercy and grace upon us all. In Matthew 21:22, it says, "If you believe, whatever you ask for in prayer, you will receive." In Hebrew 11:1, it says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." It is almost impossible to please God without faith. Have you ever heard the story of the lady that was bleeding for 12 years and she just thought to herself, if I just touch the fringe of the garments of Jesus Christ, I will be healed. And Christ said to her, it is because of your faith that you are healed. He didn't place his hands on her. She just believed that she would be healed, and she was. Faith is going up and down staircase with just a blindfold on and just hoping that I will be okay. Faith is sitting in your problem, sitting in your distress, and just believing that he will get you out of this problem. Faith is needed in life. Because the thing is, if you do not have faith, you are going to lean on your own understanding. But we don't know much. We only know what we can see. In Jeremiah 1:15, it says, "Before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you." So if someone knows you before you're in your mother's womb, they can foresee. We can't foresee. We don't have the ability to. But God can. Lean on God. Don't lean on your own understanding. Feed your spirit, man. Feed your faith. Grow in faith. How do you do that? You have to feed your spirit, man, with the gospel. You must read the Bible. You must be around like-minded people. You must go to watch and listen to sermons. You must go to church. And even if you don't even have to go to church, but you have to feed your spirit man by listening to the word of God. This is how you build your spirit man. This is how you grow in faith, especially when you see stories of other people and how many years of long suffering they went to, but with faith they were delivered. Just as the body is dead without the spirit, is literally how faith without works is dead. I hope you like this video.